Hello, this is a video for how to do homework 4.1 elastic energy. So the purpose of today's lesson was to explain how the rolling can works. So what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to show you a video, and the video is going to show you how the rolling can works. And so let's start with the video. Let me change over here. So here you're going to be watching a video of how the rolling can was made. So these are all the different materials that I used to create this in class here. So what I did was I cut a hole, and that's why I put the paper over the top of these lids, because I don't want you to see that there's rubber bands in there, because otherwise you would be able to see that there are rubber bands. So I made it large enough, although mine were a little bit smaller than that. And then I took rubber bands and I took 3 or 4 heavy washers. I couldn't use light ones. I needed to use really heavy ones. Then I tied it in a knot. And this was the hardest part because I had to tie it and I had to really stretch these rubber bands to fit from one end of the can to the next. So then what I did was I took a paper clip and I put it around one end of rubber band and I stuck it through here, and I made it slightly different, but I'm putting the paper clip over it so that it doesn't fall through, and then I taped it down. So this was the hard part. I would put it on here, but then what I had to do is I had to flip the can upside down and I had to push it through the other side of this. And this is where, he makes it seem really easy. The rubber bands we had, I had to really get them tight. And this is why I didn't want you opening up the lid, because if this would come undue, it probably took me 15 minutes to be able to stretch it that far. So they have different rubber bands than we do. So this is what's going to happen. I am going to pause the video here, and we're going to come back to it in a little bit. So what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to draw energy conversion diagrams for positions 1, 2, and 3. So position 1 is when you first started. Position 2 is where it's rolling and then it stops for a split second, then it comes back. And position 3 is when it's rolling. So if we finish watching the video, and I'll pause the video, so right there would be your position 2. And right about there would be position 3. And you couldn't see position 1 because it was off the screen. So again, if we look at it again, let's roll it again. So position 1 is where it's first being rolled. Right here is position 2, and then right there is 3. So what you need to do is you need to draw 3 energy conversion diagrams here. One for position 1, one for position 2, and one for position 3. Then you need to go through and write little mini CERs. What type of energy is involved at position 1? How do you know? And what scientific principles can you draw on to explain what is happening? So take a look at the ones we've already dealt with. Which one? So again, make sure these are complete sentences. And I don't want you to rush through this, but here again is more practice on writing CERs. So if you flip over, then you have position 2 and you have position 3. And finally, for number 3, use your model to explain the following. What causes the rollback can, in other words, the rolling can to roll back, to roll, stop, and roll back again? So what causes it to roll, what causes it to stop, and what causes it to roll back again? So make sure you follow all the directions, make sure you do everything you need to do, and good luck with this assignment.